All right, guys. Today we got another spicy deck. Houston local. This man, you might know him. His name is Sebastian, Seabass. Former Team Lethal, the fusion fighter himself. He went undefeated on Lotus Stream last couple days ago, actually, last week. So by the time you watch this, it'll be last week. Tell us what you played.
How's it going, guys? My name's Sebastian, like I said, also known the Fusion Fighter around here in the locals. But yeah, I played Blue Green Gotenks.
Ooh,
Uh,
blue green Gotenks. Okay, spicy, spicy. You went undefeated. How many rounds was it? 4?
it was 4, yes.
Okay. Now, tell us a little bit about the deck. How long you been playing with it? How long have you been building with it? What made you build the deck the way you did? Just give us a little rundown.
Yes, sir. Well, first off, I got to give credit where credit's due. Carlos was on Joey's Crossword TCG video, and he got third place with this, so it really made me come back and try the deck again, even though I was being stubborn trying to play Red Gogeta. But I saw him get third. I'm like, all right, this deck got to be solid then at this point if it can keep up with the big Bojack and all, the pre nerfs and all that. But yeah, I've been playing. Anniversary box came out. I saw it. I was just like, man, this is so good. But it wasn't Gogeta because that's my favorite character. And
For sure.
I've been playing the deck off and on. Building it, selling it, building it. But kind of got the deck just does everything what I want every fusion deck to do. It has a great searcher that searches all your pieces, and when your big card is removed, you get all your pieces back, so you never really lose anything. And then blue green, same thing, just a beam, but there's also one specific card, especially what really made me want to play blue green, and we'll get into the deck profile from there. But that's pretty much how I've been playing it. I've been playing it since anniversary on and off, but
Okay.
finally back in it.
I'm looking at your deck profile on my phone right now. I'm going to pull up the list for the viewers on the
Yep, yep.
screen so they don't have to worry about it. I see a lot of spice in here, I'm not going to lie. So we talked about it being, blue-green. Not a whole lot of blue-green in here, but, enough for you to charge and to use optimize Sensu Bean. Card that caught my eye off the get-go, and I don't know if you used it quite like a lot or not. I think you were only on stream once, maybe twice. Was and this is one of my personal favorite cards from the draft box, is Tapion, Fate of a Hero. It's blue-green. It's a 2-cost, 15k blocker. You can pay 1 for it off the jump, pitch it, draw a card, and then end of your turn you play it. Really, really, like it's a really smart, broken play that I don't see a lot of people playing. I personally love it in green decks because it gives you a free blocker essentially for a draw 1, so you're getting like a half ape plus a blocker on board. It's just really good. How often were you playing that? Like, was it a good card in your deck? Did you not like it? How do you feel about the card?
Honestly, it's a great card. Especially if you keep it on board, because unfortunately, when you +2 with the Vegito SS3, it doesn't get revenge. But if you're able to keep it on board, and if you have one at least, but it's pretty nasty when you got 2 on board, so you have 2 revenge blockers. So it pretty much makes your opponent struggle. Like, what do they want to swing with?
For sure.
But it's a great card. I didn't use that much, but almost want to forget the way I built the deck. Since we play mostly best of ones here in our area, it's kind of more focused on that. So if I was going into a best of 3 with this, it would change up the whole ratios and like kind of the deck mostly. But I feel like how I got it right now, I'll pretty much leave it as is for a best of 1, and then maybe go to 52 cards because I do sometimes deck out sometime. But as it is right now, I think it's I like it a lot, and I feel like it's optimized for best of 1. But I could be wrong. We could advance and make more changes. But I'm happy how it is right now. The Tapion, sometimes I did break, and I just had all 3 in hand. I'm like, alright, screw it. Tap 1, draw, tap 1, draw, tap 1, draw, and then I was able to draw into a dormant, a bean, or something to help me survive to the next turn without worrying too much, and then I'm able to draw 2 my pieces back.
For sure. You do have the standard Android 17 blue-green charge. So if you get stuck, when do you charge blue-green? Let me start with that. What turn are you charging blue-green?
Turn 1 always like homeboy Carlos. Like you got a mulligan for that. It's more important than the unison, depending on matchup. But usually I hard mulligan for any multicolored. I don't care which one. Like he said, you just want a multicolor and then the unison, and then everything else can be whatever.
I think that's smart. I don't think right now we're in a hyper aggro um, meta where you're gonna get punished severely for charging dual color turn one because there's always been the issues like your turn one's dead, right? You're just like, all right,
Yep.
charge, pass.
Hmm.
Especially if you don't have like an activate main on your leader where you can do effects while having it dead for your energy. But it does pay off, especially for splashing blue, because you get Senzu Bean, the untap
Yep.
potential, which extends plays or it gives you that extra 5k for the turn in case you're going against a crackback. So a lot of good plays. Well, I guess since we're talking your blue green package, let's go to the last blue green card. Haven't seen this card in a long time.
It's my
Um,
favorite. It's my favorite.
Hidden Potential.
It's my.
Came out with Cell Surge, or not Cell Surge, Piccolo Surge in that little expansion that came out, what, 2 years
Yep.
ago?
Yep.
Tell us what it does, and tell us how you use it, and what all is, give me the whole rundown of the card.
It's my favorite counterplay in the game. When Surge Cell was a big thing, like I despise that deck. You know, even though I wasn't too serious about it, but I would get body bite every time. They would do nothing and then just counterplay all your cards, and then. But yeah, basically it's a blue-green extra card. If your leader card is green, if the battle card being played has an energy cost 4 or less, it's placed in its owner's drop area instead of being played. And then choose. And then the ruling is if you do send a card back to the drop, you are able to untap one energy, any energy, blue or green.
That's pretty strong. Now, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I believe the draft box 6 silver bullets actually hurts this card. Uh,
Yes.
so, granted, you're playing green. I don't think anybody's expecting you to untap with the counterplay, so they probably
Right.
aren't going to be putting them in against you until maybe game three, right?
Mhm.
Game two, game three, depending on if you go into a best of three with this. But obviously, here locally, we don't do that. We play best of
Yeah.
one. So, unless somebody's maining it,
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to have any issues.
And
Uh,
even then, it says choose up to one, so you don't have to.
Correct. Right. You just make the meta call there and say,
Yep.
yeah, no,
Mhm.
just counterplay and go.
Mhm.
Um, So there's a few things I like about the deck that I feel are different. But before I go and dive into that, I want you to talk about your deck. Tell me what cards you like. Obviously, there's the Gotenks engine, right? Like it's just kind
Yeah.
of the bread and butter, the 6 drop, the unison of the Vegito. You have your dormants and you have your freezes, but not as much as I thought you would have, to be honest. I'm sure you cut that down for card count and ratio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
So I guess I'll just run it down. You know, the usual Gotenks package. I see a lot of lists run 4 of the Goku, the legendary fusion warrior, which I honestly don't think you need to since the deck draws so much, especially when you pop off. Like, you'd either draw into all your pieces, or you get that turn 2 play, search your piece. Like the optimal for me, best turn 2 play is play the unison, awaken, have a bean in hand, and swing, draw, give it to the unison or leader. 20. Just swing with everything you got, and then you have the 2 energy up, tap 2, play Grim Reaper, and then you just go full aggro on there, and your opponent is pretty much gonna get down to 4 or 3, or they'll drop their whole hand. So either way, you're doing great. And then since you got the unison on board, you have dormant, and then you just slap that sucker right away if you feel like you need to.
do you
But
feel that 3 dormant is enough, and do you feel that 2 charismatic freezes are enough?
for me, yeah. Just like a bunch of deck profiles say, like the Gotenks just clears any problem pretty much. Like there's not too many cards that can't be KO, or if they do have bear, you just have the 5 drop Gotenks to deal with. Which the main thing I wanted to play this was that it seems like a lot of the new decks rely on the unisons a lot, and this leader in deck is like the unison killer. So,
Fair enough.
but yeah, I feel like 2 frees are fine. Because now there's a bunch of cards. Black is just playing the SS4 go just so it's an 8 drop anyway, so like you can't KO it.
True.
So
True.
there's a lot of stuff with barrier, or they're just bigger than 7. So it's still, I mean, of course, the meta changes and all that, but I feel like it's not too necessary in this deck. But you still kind of want it because stuff does come up where you just want to pop it right then and there.
No, absolutely. I didn't notice you don't run any max power Kamehameha. which would be a card that would kill those 8 drops or anything that might Frieza might not catch. But again, space probably is just too tight.
Mhm. And I
Um,
didn't want too many black cards. I wanted to keep it blue and green mostly.
yeah, no, you didn't even run any Overwhelm in this deck at all.
Hmm.
Um, Big Amor, Big Armoire, as I used to call it, because I can't read. How often were you playing this card? Was it good? Do you like it? Would you cut it?
Yeah, and that was to my former teammate PR Sign. The commentary. He's been helping him out working this deck profile. There's two, there's three uh cards that he said I should add more of or add this instead, and Big More was kind of one of them. I asked him, and he thought it wasn't too bad, and we play tested out, and it turned out really good, and it came up every match. And I went against a yellow Shenron, and I knew he was gonna sell Xeno, so I just tapped 2 for that, and then passed turn, and he proceeded to play the sell Xeno, and then just ripped the 3 cards, but it didn't matter. Like I said, so basically, how I have it built, I feel like it's built for kind of almost every situation. Like if you don't have dormant, the bean saves you because there's some turns where I just double bean and they just pass after like 2 swings.
Yeah, for
Or
sure.
vice versa, I don't have the bean, but I have the Eunice and everything. I just don't, dormant is the best, floodgate. And then if neither of those work, or I don't have dormant, I just big up more and then I leave one up for bean. So if they want to swing with a bunch of weenies, I just bean up. They can't swing with anything 5 or more, and it's great. So
Uh,
very defensive.
Absolutely, I can see that, and obviously your Gotenks engine is very offensive on its own, so it's very balanced.
Mhm.
Draws a lot. The only issue is it's green, right? Green's just not in the best spot right now for meta, but I feel like Gotenks is the outlier when it comes to green decks.
Mhm.
Um, Secret Rare, you run the Masked Ape. That is a nice tech you got there. I don't know who you got it from, but it's a badass
Yeah,
card.
definitely, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, thanks for hooking me up. No, yeah, I see Solzino, I see a bunch of other, but for me, I just keep one clearing board, mostly. Uh, I've tried using it with the activate main, but that's how I've lost most of my matches just playing it.
Yeah,
So
you're not
I
supposed
just
to
use it
play
for the
it.
combo. Yeah, I just use it for the combo, and it's come up a lot. I'm going in for the game, and I just combo it for the heck of it. Pop one of their active mode cards, 5K or 10K regard. I just pop one of their combo pieces, or it's just a straight up just 10K, which won me the last round, of the finals. But
So
yeah, just more removal, just more removal. Like cheat, that's just cheat. One energy KO anything. They all in you with a mirror. Just tap one. Goodbye.
yeah,
Victory strike. Same thing. Goodbye.
spot removal. It doesn't
Yep.
matter if it's got barrier or
Mhm.
deflect. It's just this is the only secret where you can play a turn one, right?
Yep.
So it doesn't have energy requirement minus tapping one for the combo and then just removing it from combo.
Yep.
So if anybody does try to like all in on you with like you said Mira or anything, is if they're like, hey, this card I'm swinging with is an 8 cost or more, so I'm not
Yep.
afraid of Heroine's lineage. Well, they're
Mhm.
stupid because this card is gonna just kill it anyway.
Yep.
So if you're playing against green, this should probably be in your back of your mind. Chris Clay told me this a while back. He said it on my podcast. When you're playing green, this card should be in your mind because it will KO anything that exists in the card game. It does not matter.
Yep.
So one of my
Yep.
personal favorite choices for green, I actually ran it in my double strike crit Goku deck that I ran in Team Wars and for Fight Night. Um, so you run 6 unisons.
Mhm.
In two of which are actually really I like a lot. The Bardock, one of the paternal unisons, I think.
Yep.
Um, More hand control, more combo control. Um, do you like it more than the Vegito? Do you just use it as a
Yeah.
placeholder for
No,
Vegito?
no, yeah. So like the reason I won is because it came out like Bardock put in the most work this last week. Like it was kind of crazy because my second match was against Milk Cooler, which I've always lost to because I've just milled out. But then like I was playing the matchup wrong until I realized that like wait, I can just pop their rival combo. So literally turn 1, uh or yeah, I was 2 energy, he was 1. I played it, and then he tried to. I swung at him, and he tried to arrival, and I'm like, no auto pop, and then he couldn't. He restored the energy with the Beerus, but he couldn't arrival anything. So then I was able to just bean up, play the Reaper on turn 2, and I just swung at him. He was down to 3 life on turn 2. There was nothing he was doing, just nothing but 10Ks in their hand.
For sure. Once you can keep him on board, like especially if you can fill the board with blockers on top of that. So let's say you, I don't even know if you're like, let's say you whiff on your multicolored charge. You charge green, you tape on turn 1, go into Bardock turn 2. Not much you can do unless you just have like a removal. I personally love the Bardock Unison. I know Vegito's great for closing games out because you're just like, yeah, burn, right? You just burn them for life. But I actually think Bardock's a great Unison at a 2 cost. Might be one of the strongest Unisons in the game. I know people will say Broly. Dark Broly is the strongest one. But I still like it because getting to turn 3 is kind of difficult to just drop a Unison. That's it.
Yep.
So, especially when your deck relies on a specified 2 cost Unison. But super combos. Let's talk about that for a second. My goodness. This Bulma that you play is spicy. I don't.
Oh yeah, that's all PR sign right there. He showed it to me. I'm like, yo, this is great.
So for those who don't know, it's a 2-drop Earthling Bulma that says if your leader card is, I believe, Black Shenron or a Green Saiyan, when your life is at 5 or less, combo with this card, it gets plus 10,000 power, draw a card. So
Yep.
no specified combo power, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go up against the Fu Shrouded, see you later.
Yep.
But people are expecting you not to be able to super combo at 5 life. So if they try to not awaken you, if you don't happen to hit your Unison or whatever, it's like, nah, I'm at 5. Go in. And then, of course, the Paragus, Defending Father Paragus. It's been one of the best super combos since it came out 2 years ago. It's one of. I'm sure it's just to help filter your hand. Do you like the ratios? Would you go to 4 Bulma, or is this like the right mix?
My former teammate don't like one of, but like you said, it's still a 10K for free. So like, if they do super aggro, I just drop it, even though I get the draw, or even though I don't get the draw, it's just fine. It's just a good early combo or late game combo. So if I see it, if it's all right. If I don't, it's all right. So, but I like to have it there.
I agree.
But the Bulma, yeah. So the cooler player tried to take me down to 3 life with a 5-drop cool. He swung, comboed up to 25. I just comboed the Bulma and one other card, and I out comboed. He was like, "What the heck?" And so.
I don't think.
Yeah, people just don't expect. Yeah, people don't expect me to combo at 5.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think anybody should. Nobody's like, oh yeah, they're playing Bulma. Like, who's playing Bulma?
Yep. But I think it's a great super combo for the deck.
No,
probably the best.
Could be. I mean, you are Green Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
One final spice card that I want to bring up. It is the 5-drop Majin Buu, the board clearer.
Yep.
The unadulterated whatever. Did you play it at all? Did it make an appearance?
Unfortunately, no. I could have used it, but it's just a backup because the multicolors and not finding sometimes I don't find my pieces. If I'm able to stall out, it's just like, all right, turn 5, boom. Like, regardless, even if I don't have my Unison or my other cards, like, no big deal. And if I do, I just swing with everything, play it, swing. Because sometimes that yellow blue Zamasu or Shin Shenron can spam the board. Just boom, just drop that, clear everything. And then again, I also have it for the blue baby matchup because the negate, so just it's gonna get to turn 5. So then on turn 5, I just slap that down and I'm like, goodbye field card. Now your whole deck is in trouble now without the field card.
I agree. So obviously, best of 1. You don't have a sideboard. Right. I don't know if you put any thought into what you would add to the sideboard or not, but just maybe a couple cards you've thought about considering siding in for the deck.
Oh yeah, for sure. So like depending on the matchup, like if they're like combo, like they worry more about combo. Because also my other matchup was against King Piccolo, and I just kept popping his combos with Bardock. So I would actually change the ratio of the unison. Like if I know that I need Bardock more, uh, I would just go switch the ratio. So go 4 Bardocks, 2 Vegetos, and then vice versa. But also like the way I built this now, it's more like aggro, a little bit mid range as well. And I would just side in a totally different engine. I would do like a whole hand destruction engine for the side.
Oh.
Honestly.
I remember asking on stream if they knew that if you were running Rosies or not. So I was thinking you might have some hand destruction mainboarded already. I don't know if you know which card I'm talking about. The Battle
Yeah.
Evolution
Yep. Yep. Yep.
3-drop triple attack on play. Just make your opponent discard 2. I
Yeah.
think that's a phenomenal card for green because there's no way that your opponent is preventing you from making them discard 2. Um,
Right.
there's nothing they can do about it. So good card. Let's talk about your matchups. I know we've talked that you played Cooler Mill, you played King Piccolo, and then I think that's all we
Yellow
talked about.
Shishan, Yellow
Yellow Finn.
Shishanra, and then Finn for the final, which is crazy.
The fact that Lotus allowed, and that's fine. Like I agree that if everybody's cool with it, that's fine. Um, that they should be able to play the set that hasn't even been released yet, which gives us a sneak peek of what to expect. But I feel like there's a lot of misplays with the Finn deck because we're just not used to it.
Mm.
So take that with a grain of salt, if you will. But how was it against Finn? Did you feel like it was like a fair deck? Do you think Finn is broken? Do you think it's not as bad as people think it is?
I feel like against certain matchups, he could definitely be like super busted. Like because he's him able to eat a card and just awaken right away. Like it's pretty nutty. But I feel pretty confident in the matchup. Like I was just like I awaken turn 2. I have leader and unison, and that's pretty. If you go back and watch it, that's pretty much all I did for each turn. I just like, all right, swing with 15, swing with 15, and that he proceeded to just drop his hand or just take the damage. So I just didn't play anything until he played something, so then I could just KO it or remove the markers from it.
Right,
And
maximize value.
yep.
So you just
So
value chained them, basically. You just made sure
yeah.
that you were getting something out of your plays and not just
Mhm.
playing it to get it eaten. That's smart. And obviously, Gotenks draws a shit ton of cards.
Yep.
So
And then when he did eat it, I just got my pieces back, and I just made sure I had another Gotenks to go into when I needed it.
that's perfect. So obviously 4-0. Great deck. Great turnout for Lotus. Great showing out there. Are you going to play it again this coming week?
Yes, I probably will be. Just to see if I can, like I said, my whole thing I've been trying to do is just been playing consistently with it. So yeah, I'll probably play it next week if I
Okay.
get there in time. But yeah, but that's pretty much most of it. The only thing is like I think people can be more flexible with the Gotenks package in itself. Like I don't think you need to run 4 Goku's, and for the fusion pieces themselves, I'm only running 3 Trunks Bonds of Friendship and 3 Sun Goten and Trunks Faultless Youth, and then the one TP Goten.
I saw that. I thought it was a little bit weird of a ratio. Obviously, you're just trying to stick to a 50 card deck.
Hmm.
So you're running out of spaces. Okay, 2 questions left, and then we'll call this a thing.
Yeah.
Uh, what cards, if any, would you add to the deck that you feel like could be put in here? And then to counter that question, what cards would you pull out to exchange those cards? So that'll be question one.
It's it's so tough right now. Like, like okay, like I said, I might try 52 this coming week, so I would add Champa and then an Overwhelm because you don't want to Overwhelm always because you cycle from the
Oh
drop a
yeah,
lot.
you're
So
overwhelming once, maybe
yeah,
twice at the most.
so
Uh,
it'd either be fighting against Fate or Secret Identity Mass Saiyan.
I
It's
think
one of those two.
I don't think you need secret identity with how much removal you have, but of course, tokens. If you go up
Hmm.
against the blue matchup, that comes into play pretty strong, especially with that new Goku Black card that drops
Yep.
4 blocker tokens. Fighting against Fate's just that extra push that you might need. Obviously, you're swinging dual attack already, so you throw another dual attack for free. It can be pretty busted. Champa's Champa.
Yep.
So those are good calls. What else would
But
you add?
if I could take out, I wish I could take out the 5-drop blue. But like I said, since it's the best of one, the possibility of breaking is pretty up there. So that's just my last resort. Like, all right, I'm nuking everything. I'm making it. And plus, their leader can attack it because of the permanent of the Gotenks leader itself. So like, it's pretty neat. Like they can't, most of the time, people want to swing at it with their lead, but they can't in this matchup particularly. So they have to swing with the unison or a battle car, and even then, it's all right.
And you wouldn't consider dropping that to 1?
I have, and then like I've never seen it, and then like at that point, there's no point of running a one of. So like, I
You
could
know,
fit in the Choppa and Overrun swapping that, but
I'm just saying, every time I've run a 1 of, I usually see it, but when I put something that's
yeah,
like 2 or 3 of, I never see it.
yeah, yeah.
So it's my bad luck, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I guess to wrap things up, my final question is: any shout outs, any comments you want to leave before we wrap this up?
I don't know. Shout out to the Houston community. It's always fun. Learning from the super competitive and the chill homies too. Shout out to y'all, the South Boys. Y'all been with me since like the very beginning. Shout out to my mentor, my teacher, and my former teammate, PR Sign, and Priest, Giovanni, they're always helping me out, trying to get better and play consistency. And, shout out to the South Boys, like I said, always been there since day one.
Appreciate it. Shout outs just for the video, of course. Shout out to Lotus Gaming Shop, host of Lotus
Yep.
Super at Lotus Thursdays. Lily is a great store owner. If you haven't been to the shop and you're in the Houston area, go check them out. Shout out to ProMats. They actually are the side sponsor for Team Salt Boys' Playmats.
Oh yeah.
So if you've
Clean
seen
mats.
our Roshi panty dropping, that's from him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Sebastian. Great show out for Thursday. Hope to see you top again this coming week. If you ever change your mind, join the Salt Boys. We'd love to have you on here.
Yeah.
We're not all competitive players. Honestly, half of us don't play, so like it would be no big deal. Other than that, man, I appreciate the deck profile. I'm gonna put this up. Hopefully, this by midweek, but. Keep it spicy as always. All your decks are always so spicy. So if you bring out another banger, bro, I'm putting you back on here.
I'll try.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate it. Y'all take care. We'll see you on the next one.
Yes, sir.